Don't worry, it's a safe space. Over in this corner of the exaggerated thumbnail side of YouTube, we eat, sleep, and shit video game culture and everything in between the hobby. So no matter what kind of gamer you consider yourself to be, whether it's with the on and off casual Windows XP solitary playing archetype, all the way up to the people who might be watching right now on a second monitor while using the primary to farm RuneScape levels. I hope the sound of my voice in your ears can boost your XP gain per hour. The point is, there's never in life going to be a definitive way to play video games or, have some sort of official method of bestowing the title of being a gamer into your family lineage. Like, you could literally only ever have experience playing the Chrome Disconnect dinosaur game and, well, you're pretty much in the club. Like, it doesn't take much to get sanctioned around here. But even though it doesn't matter how you like to get into the groove of getting your palms sweaty and retina fatigue looking at a screen, there's definitely some negative type practices that these gaming companies are trying to exploit out of players that's leading us to where we are now, to where we see way too many goddamn layoffs and studio shutdowns. And just being real, I've talked about most of these reasons in a plethora of videos that I dropped on this channel, but if we're being honest, I'm just a small voice in the web void that's mostly full of OnlyFans bots now. Many people aren't hearing the gospel. So that's why I get excited and happy like I am right now when I see people with actual influence and trustworthiness in the gaming industry speak on things that echo from regular players for the longest time, which encourage positive change for games in the future, like this dude John Buckley just did, who you may know as the community manager for the recent pop-off title of Palworld. Now, Palworld as a game will be studied as a crazy-ass time in our American history for decades to come, with a bunch of weird ups and downs in its rise to fame, from it being dubbed the Pokemon Killer to then accused of stealing actual Pokemon assets, only to find out that all those things were just made up fairy tales spawned from hate, and then even being labeled as a dead game for only having over 60,000 concurrent players. Modern gamers might just be those OnlyFans bots for new sentience. Anyways, crazy takes aside, the team over at Palworld have had to deal with some crazy things regarding their titles so far in this lifespan and gained a lot of new perspective on a bunch of different issues that plague most current games, including the problem of most games being ran in a way to keep your attention for as long as possible, i.e. to keep their games with first dibs on your bank account and keep you paying for live service mechanics. And instead of falling victim to, attempting to pillage your pockets, Palworld's team has assured their community, like recently, that their title was never meant to be played forever. You see, the community manager John Buckley recently did a sitcom type cameo in a recent video about going indie on YouTube, to which he explained how if the majority of players continue to, play the same live service titles all the time, that it's only gonna further enforce the idea that live service games are the way of the business, and then we'll keep getting the same rinse and repeat cycle of games just shutting down not even a year into being released, just because they can't make money from the live service market being so vast and competitive, urging players to normalize not spending all of your time on these types of games for the health of the industry. Now, of course, Buckley clarifies that looking at that statement in the broadest way possible could lead to misinterpretation, since there are a lot of games that are meant solely to be played for a long time, like MMOs such as WoW, League of Legends, or GTA Online if you have concerning amounts of tolerance for mental abuse like me. But the fact of the matter is that the head of all these AAA and AA gaming publishers, like the executives all the way at the top with more wrinkles in their skin than wet clothes, all of them are just looking for where the green is. They move their businesses and decide where to allocate these funds to, depending on what they can project will make the most money in returns. And even though there are hella dudes like me who don't support any live service titles or, any of these weird practices of microtransactions in games, in the grand scheme of things, we're just the minority, because most people in the world nowadays are actually intrigued to play and pay into most live service titles just because of the incentives that these companies use to attract them. And let me be clear, I'm not saying that it's like a bad thing to enjoy these live service games or, even pay into any of these live service kind of titles. I had a whole villain type monologue at the start of the video debunking that. However, like John Buckley also campaigns for in the rest of his statement, if you want to see a more abundance of games and less of these practices getting more and more egregious, it doesn't hurt to also support and play a variety of different titles whenever you can. Like, it's never been a bad idea to diversify the things that you spend time playing with things that aren't live service games, even if you continue to play the one title that makes you the most happy. Or more accurately, the one that makes you hate yourself the most, but you still won't ever stop playing. A lot of companies that aren't indie are scared to take a chance on anything that isn't live service due to the risk that they think it is to not gain the possible easy money. So if players start to support different genres and even these indie games right now that are killing it in the underground gaming scene, then it's only a matter of time before publishers notice and we start to see a shift in less self-destructive live service titles and more genuine experiences. Now, even though I say all this, I'm still grounded in reality. I highly doubt that live service games are ever gonna go away. For some games, that foundation just builds and people will always pay into it. I mean, every time that we get a new IP in life, somebody's gonna want to skin out of it in Fortnite. But even still, I don't think it's a crazy thing to say that, seeing less of these kinds of games might slow down the trend of scummy business in the gaming industry. So what do you guys think about, this idea of live service games being, slowing down and people stop playing them so much, man? Feel free to comment down below. As always, if you like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. You know what I'll do. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye. For real.